Hi, I'm Paddy Lambros and I'm the Head of People at Sensat. Day to day, I look after three teams: the people team, the talent team and the workplace experience team. The people team's objective is to make sure that Sensat has everything that it needs in order to execute on the mission. That's everything from making sure you've got the right laptop, you've got a manager that can support you, to making sure that the culture of the organisation fosters the kinds of behaviours and the kind of belonging that we think is necessary for us to succeed. So our job as a people team is to make sure that all of that happens and happens smoothly. When I met the team and the people here, I realised that we had an opportunity to do something really meaningful and build a business that people could be really proud of. I come to work every day because I want us to build a company that in 10, 15, 20 years, people talk about as setting the standard for how things should be done. I want Sensat to be talked about in the same way that Google used to be talked about. I want Sensat to be seen as a business that pioneered new ways of working, new ways of doing things, and finding a better balance for people to do their best work and to achieve really meaningful things. We use a number of different systems in the people team. The ones that you're going to come in contact with the most are Lattice, HiBob, and Lever. Lattice is our people engagement system. We use it to track things like updates, we do our feedback and reviews through it, but we also do things like questionnaires and surveys as well. It's a really useful tool because it allows us to get a sense check of what's going on in the business and to make sure that things are progressing. It allows us to work out, are we doing the right things, are we making the right decisions, and it allows you to give us feedback. One of the most important features within Lattice is actually the updates. We ask you to do these every week because it allows a few different things to happen. Firstly, it allows you to reflect on the work that you've done each week and determine, hey, did I do the right things? Did I make the progress I wanted to make? It allows you to communicate with your manager asynchronously to make sure that they understand what's going on. Let's face it, they're humans, they're not going to notice everything. This is your opportunity to make sure they know what's going on in your world. Importantly, it also allows us to really keep track of sentiment within the business. This allows us to see how people are feeling, to see how people are reacting to either changes that we've made in policy or just how they're feeling in general. And that's a really important early warning system that allows us to intervene when necessary. Additionally, when you're writing your reviews, it's always hard to remember what happened 3 months ago, particularly in a business like Sensat where everything changes so quickly. And being able to look back at your updates of what's gone on really gives you the opportunity to reflect and to make sure that you include all that information in your reviews. Other systems we use are HiBob. You're mainly going to use this to book holiday, but there are other important pieces of information in there like payroll, but also tenure and a few other different bits and pieces. And the other system finally is Lever. Lever allows us to, Lever is an applicant tracking system and it allows us to conduct interviews, it allows us to receive applications, and once you're onboarded and interviewing for the company, you'll be using it quite a lot to help us grow the teams. Spill is an app that sits within Slack and gives you the option to get in touch with a mental health professional, either over chat or even to book in a one-on-one session with them. We believe that it's important that as a business we're supportive of everybody, and 1 in 4 of us in our lives will suffer from mental health issues at some point. I think it's important that we recognise that and that we provide a safety net to people that when they're struggling, they've got somebody they can talk to. And I quite like the fact that because it's in Slack, it's just so easy to use. Jim in the people team is somebody who spearheaded this, and if you'd like to know more, he's the best person to speak to about that. Well, I actually joined Sensat as head of talent, and really I was looking after recruiting, making sure that we had the right people, making sure that we could hire fast enough to meet our growth targets. And about 3 minutes into that role, it became really apparent that actually there was a big need for us to focus on what we did with people after we hired them. It wasn't good enough just to get them in the door and sort of let them get on with it. Actually, we needed to create the operating software of the business, the foundation that lets people that you've hired come and do a great job. And my role over the last 2 years has become broader in that sense, in that it's not just about hiring somebody, it's about hiring the right person and then giving them the environment for them to succeed. It's no good planting seeds and then not watering them. Over the last 2 years, I think Sensat's changed quite significantly. When I joined, we were 20 people, we're working out of a broom closet in Rivington Street, and now we're more than 80, growing rapidly. We've got people in the UK, we've got people in Italy, we're soon to open offices in other parts of the world. We've also endured a global pandemic. We've done all of that, and at the same time I think we've helped to cultivate and foster a fantastic culture. A culture where people feel like they really belong, a culture where people feel that they can come and bring themselves to work and actually have a good time. Work isn't just about clocking in, knocking out some tasks. It's actually about coming to do something you care about with people that you like working with and spending time with. And I think that's what we've managed to do here at Sensat, and I think that's what makes me so excited about working here. Right now we're going through the process of our Series B investment. We're looking at things like international expansion, and we're expecting to grow really, really rapidly over the next few years. That means a few different things for us. One, it means that we've got an opportunity to grow the teams here, for individuals here to step up and take on new responsibilities, to take on new roles, and to really develop as people and professionals. The other thing means we've got an opportunity to impact an industry. An industry as large as construction, where they produce 30% of the world's CO2, they haven't had an increase in productivity for 50 years. We've got an opportunity to change that. If we can do that, and it's a big if, we've got an opportunity to build a technology startup that's respected around the world, that creates a lot of value for our customers and creates a lot of value for ourselves. The thing about Sensat that's different from almost any other business is that right now, our future and our fate is in our hands. It's up to us if we're successful or not. No one can take it away, no one can give it to us. We can earn it though. And we can earn it because we've got the opportunity, we've got a market that's right for the technology that we create. We've got customers that need a solution, and we've got an environment that requires better ways of working. And that puts us right at the intersection of all those things. What that means for you is that if you grab this opportunity, you can transform not only your own life because of the opportunities that you'll receive from this business, from the equity that you have that will grow in value as the business grows, but also can make a real big impact on the business. When we look into the future, when we look 20, 30 years into the future, they're going to write books about Sensat. The opportunity that you have right now is to determine, do you want to be a footnote in that book? Do you want to be a page? Or do you want to be a chapter? So take the opportunity that you've got here. The best thing about working at Sensat is that I get to work with people who care about what they do and want to see everybody succeed. This is an organisation where the only way that we can be successful is if we all are. And I think that creates bonds, and that creates the kinds of relationships that you see here. It creates the kind of culture and the kind of team spirit that we have. And I think that's just really nice to be around. I haven't seen it in many places before. The thing about Sensat that's different from any other business